Hi, we are inside the Cloud Forest Temple at the Weaverville Joss House State Historic Park. I'm Jack Frost, the monument guide here, and I'm sharing some history of the interior of the temple, and this is specifically the 4 parade banners that are directly behind me. These were gifted in honor of Emperor Bakai's birthday celebration, which was always held on the 3rd day of the 3rd lunar month. If you can read the Chinese characters, you would see that across the top of each of the 4 banners, it is actually honoring his name. But what's also interesting are the Chinese characters that are horizontal and vertical on these that give you the date and the place of manufacture. These 4 were made in a factory in Canton, China. And there's an old legend referring to this form of embroidery as called the blind stitch. If you actually look very, very closely for the actual threads and the stitch work that actually creates the banner, you can't see it. It's almost invisible. But the other part of the story was that the women that created these banners and working in these factories over long, long hours for many, many years actually ended up losing their eyesight and becoming blind. So there's 2 stories to that old technique of doing this embroidery. There are 4 of them. They were gifted during different times of the year. As I have said earlier, there are 13 lunar cycles in a complete year in the Chinese calendar, and there are 4 changing seasons. So the one that's directly behind me was donated in the fall season. The next one to the right is the winter season. The 3rd one is spring, and the one on the far right is summer. So again, that's something that's very important in Taoism, is recognizing cyclic change or things that change. These have to be very well protected when they are removed from the temple and they're in parades outside. And there's many different forms of protection. One are the tiny little mirrors that are attached to them. There's over 112 mirrors on every one of the banners. And that's because evil spirits cannot stand to see their own ugliness. The mirrors always reflect evil and negative energy away from them. They are also protected by the little guardian dogs called Fu dogs. Each one of them has 2, male and female, yin and yang. And if you've ever owned a little tiny dog that's more fur than it is dog, you'll say that this little dog owns me and I have to serve this little dog. And usually they're not afraid of anything, especially big dogs. So these specifically that are on the banners are decorated with green eyes to give them long life and good health. Above the banners are auspicious symbols that also represent the seasons of the year. And there's one other animal that's depicted on them, but they're very, very hard to find. They're kind of hidden. And these are beautiful butterflies. This is because butterflies never fly in a straight path, which is the path that evil only travels on. And butterflies are naturally beautiful creatures, not like extremely ugly, evil creatures. So I hope you enjoyed that little bit of information. Goodbye now.